Alright, so today we are going to demonstrate some Shonishin and Teishin acupressure techniques. And the way that we usually start these treatments is simply by palpating various acupressure points along the meridians of the body. And once we palpate and discover what points are a little more tender or a little more sunken, a little more deficient, a little more toned, or excess or tight, ropey, that kind of thing, then we'll go ahead and treat with some acupressure tools along the Hara or the abdomen, along the face, and along the neck as well. So by treating these areas energetically with these acupressure tools, we can easily help to balance out those points that we find through the palpation process. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here, and I'm just going to feel into various acu points, lung 5, lung 6, heart 3, 4, lung 9, triple warmer 10. We'll feel around the legs, liver 8, master tongue's liver 8, liver 7, that's ropey on both sides. Spleen 10, stomach 36, stomach 40, heart 3, 3 is 6. And so we're just kind of feeling around for what areas are a little tighter than others. I'm going to go now into the abdomen, or the Hara in Japanese, and just kind of feel around and see what we discover. Acupressure is often used for people who either are very young, so children, also those who suffer from PTSD, those who might be, a little bit more sensitive and, their chi is kind of all at the surface due to a chronic pattern of being in fight or flight. So we use this as a way to be more gentle, and it really is quite effective despite being gentle. It looks like a whole lot of nothing when you do it, but it can bring pretty potent results. And the goal is always to not over-treat. And so here we're just kind of feeling around. Is that tender there? Yeah, okay. Tender there at all? Not so much. How about there?
Mm-hmm.
No. You really want to bring your presence into the room with you when you do these sorts of treatment. It's like an extension of Qigong almost, where you are really dropping into your awareness and channeling that through your fingertips, and your fingers become very intelligent as you continue to do this work. And so we feel for ropiness. Is that tender there? Yeah. Okay. And then we're just making mental notes of all of these areas, and we will come back and recheck them after we perform the Teishin techniques, or the acupressure techniques with the Teishin tool. Okay, so now I'm just going to feel into your neck and feel around your face a little bit. Okay. Some tightness in there. There's some tightness there too. Okay, so Tom today is going to really benefit from the Teishin work. We're going to check back in with these areas after we're done as well. So now just kind of feeling into the face. One thing I like to do is feel what direction the fascia wants to move in. So I kind of pull up, I pull down, I pull in, I pull out, and feel which way gives a little more give. And that's the way that the skin wants to move that particular day. So here we go down, we go up, there's a little more movement up, we go in, we go out, there's a little more movement in. So up and in, up and in, up and in will be the stroke pattern that we use in this particular area. On the forehead, we notice up, down, in, out. It's pretty close here, but I think it likes to go out and up. Okay. All right, so the tools that we're going to use today, we have 2 Teishin tools. And it's really nice to just warm them up with your hands first so that we're not touching super cold metal to the skin. So you can also just hold it in your hand for a bit. I'm going to start with this silver. Okay. And so for the neck, we're going to start with the neck. And we are going to go ahead and do what's called tension touch, tension touch, tension touch. And so you kind of go along the SCM and scalenes here. And you just kind of like create tension with one finger. And you hold the Teishin with your hand, and then you have the tip of it kind of in the middle of your finger. You can use your pointer finger, you can also use your middle finger. But then you just sort of create tension and do this gentle stroking along the muscle group. Tension touch, tension touch, tension touch, tension touch. And you just kind of haphazardly almost go through. We're not looking for specific acupoints here. We're just kind of waking up the tissues. And then after that, we feel around for tense spots that are still present. Okay, so there's a tense spot right there. So I'm going to move this neck just a little bit. You can relax. And when we locate that spot, you take your finger and the tool and you gently let it guide you along the path of ease. And sometimes that involves kind of moving their neck and their head just a bit to create that torsion, that tension. And you follow your energy into their energy. And you see where it takes you. And you're not moving the Teishin off the point. You're simply following the path of ease as if you're a drop of water trickling down the path of least resistance. Okay, very good. And we do a little more tension touch, tension touch, tension touch, tension touch. And then checking back in with that point. There's some really great improvement there. You can almost feel more shen or more life at the surface of the skin here. The surface of the skin tends to change when you do this work. I'm just going to feel around for other points. Is that tender right there? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're feeling some tension there. So we're going to go ahead and follow the Teishin where it needs to go along the path of least resistance. And I'm not pushing very hard here. This is more of an energetic sort of acupressure rather than, needing to get to the deeper layers. We are going a little bit deep. It might be a little bit tender, but really using ease and gentleness here. This is why it makes such a good treatment for those who have PTSD or some sort of situation where they might be a little needle shy or a little sensitive or a little in need of more TLC. Tension, touch, tension, touch, tension, touch. It feels much better. And that feels much better. Okay, and then we're going to go to the other side. Okay, so we begin with just that tension touch along the SCM and scalenes. Tension touch. Then feeling around for some tender spots. Oh, we got one right there. So we locate that and then we just follow the path of ease. And kind of are guided directionally as you tune into that area and that patient. And let yourself be guided by spirit, I guess. Okay, and then you feel what feels like a release of energy in that area, and then you follow with a little tension touch, tension touch, tension touch, tension touch. You always kind of go in a downward pattern on the neck. Okay, and we'll feel around for some other tender spots. Is that tender for you?
Not so much.
Not so much? A little bit there?
Oh, no.
A little bit? There?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, and so then we direct our energy into that acupoint. We're letting the tissues know that's okay to release. Just gentle micro movements of the Teishin along the way. And then touch. When you have your finger over the tip of the Teishin, it makes it a more tonifying treatment, meaning that we're bringing energy to the area rather than draining in excess. Okay, and then you can look forward. Okay. So I just want to check in briefly with those acupoints we were feeling into before. Be surprised at how much change you can affect. There's quite a lot of change on this side, just a little on this side, quite a lot of change on this side, and enough on this side. Little change there, quite a lot of change on the left. Okay, some nice change in the stomach. Great change there. Oh, liver 7 feels So much better. There's still some tone there, but it feels not so ropey. And kidney 3 feels much better too. Liver 3, yeah, we're on the right track. So next, I'm gonna move over to the Hara, over the abdomen. Okay, and so the way that we do a tonifying treatment on the abdomen or the Hara is by taking that Teishin tool, putting it at the tip of your finger here, and then just sort of gently guiding your finger back a bit so that the tip is a little bit out but not unwieldy back here. And you just sort of kind of touch and pass, touch and pass, touch and pass, touch and pass, touch, pass, touch, pass, touch, pass, touch, pass, touch, pass. That's one. And then you go ahead and you do touch, pass, touch, pass, touch, pass, touch, pass. And you just sort of go around the Hara. You can already feel changes in the skin, which is really neat. There's almost like more energy that's more at the surface, whereas before you had to go a little bit deeper to feel that energetic sensation. So we'll do a few more passes. The Hara in Japanese acupuncture is extremely important for not only diagnosis, but also treatment. And many Japanese acupuncturists will exclusively treat the Hara. The Kiko Matsumoto style is very much Hara based. There's different regions of the Hara that correspond to different areas and organ systems. Obviously, your entire trunk is in the Hara. Your organ systems are all very much accessible from the Hara. And this is kind of where we originate when we are born. And we start as a belly button. So now I'm going to tune in to those points again, just kind of feel for changes. Oh yeah, that liver channel feels so much better. Spleen 10 feels better. Stomach 36 feels better, not perfect. Spleen 6 feels much better. Okay. And we'll do one more pass. Okay. All right, so next we're going to demonstrate some Shonishin techniques. Shonishin literally translates to children's acupressure. And so this is more of a technique that you would use in your pediatric cases, but it can also be used for your very sensitive adults or those who have kind of gone through trauma. This is a very good protocol for treating trauma. The face is just where we hold a lot of trauma. And so by doing these techniques, we gently teach the nervous system that you are safe. And so we're going to kind of go through a few of the tools here. So the first tool is this little pointy tip tool, and we're going to go along this protocol that involves several points along the eyebrows, along the cheeks, along the jawline, and then we're going to go from there, okay? All right, so then for this we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we can go along and use this tool, which is almost like a rake, a little pointed rake that we can kind of go across the channels. And again, tuning into the skin and the fascial layers and feeling what Tom's skin wants to do today. Okay, so since doing the little acupressure dot technique that we just did, it feels like his skin wants to go in this direction now. Let's check this side. Yep, okay. So we're going to go ahead and just do some very gentle scraping on the jawline. This is very good for sort of draining the lymphatic system, the sinuses, and combing the eyebrows. And if you're working with children, a lot of times they'll think that these tools are really pretty cool. Okay, so then we have this little, similar to the last tool, it's like a little pointed Reiki tool. And so then for this, we're just going to do some very quick brushing techniques. And we go along into the hair with this tool. Going along the gallbladder meridian, just sort of at the central part of the eyebrow and back. And then we can brush along those same areas that we brushed just a moment ago. Okay, and then we have our gold Teishin, or it's actually copper. And this can be used more as like a specific acupressure point for certain areas. So, you know, that tongue usually has some sinus stuff going on. So we're going to do some just guided acupressure on those points. And so you just hold, using your intention again, just to sort of guide the tool in the direction of ease. You don't need to stay there all that long, especially if you're working with a child. Just a few seconds on each point helps to sort of awaken that acupoint. Say, hey, we need you to get into balance here. Always remembering that your body is consistently and forever working hard to bring you back into homeostasis. And then we have our little metallic Gua Sha tool, and this can be used sort of not in the same way that you would use, a Gua Sha tool for like a beauty purpose. This you kind of do more slowly and gently with smaller strokes. Actually, I'm going to get a little bit of oil for this part. This is a Maizen Yin Balancing Facial Serum. Just need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops, we'll say. Don't want to overwhelm the face. We'll just give it a little bit of lubrication so that the Gua Sha tool isn't so scrapey. And just a little bit more. And then you take your Gua Sha tool and you sort of guide it along the jawline with your awareness. Always listening for what the body wants, what the body needs. And just following that path. Nice and gentle. Side. If you hit a roadblock with the Gua Sha tool, just stay there for a moment. Right here we see a little bit of tension at that lower jawline. So just spend a little extra energy, a little extra presence right there. And then I'm going to guide it back over, feel the difference. And then feel into the tissues again. What direction do they want to go? Down, in. So most Gua Sha protocols will direct you to always kind of drain in and out, but I like to feel into the fascial tissue and see what direction it wants to go. And then I'll follow that even if it feels counterintuitive. Listen to what each individual body wants and needs in that moment. And it might change as you go along. Does that hurt?
Mm-hmm.
No. Good. Okay. And you do just gentle scrape and follow on the head. Okay. Checking in again with the neck. Oh, it feels worlds better than it did at the start. And then let's take a peek and see what tool we missed. Okay. So we also have this tool. And so for this one, we don't want to sort of like press it in because it is actual needles, and so we don't want to penetrate it because we use this on many patients, so we don't want to penetrate anyone's skin. That would make it a throwaway tool. And so for this, we just sort of scrape again along the hair, along the dew channel or the governing vessel, along the gallbladder channel, along the bladder channel, which is more at the inner corner of the eye and back, bladder channel, yeah, gallbladder channel on the side above the ear, gallbladder channel on the side of the other ear. Okay. And last but not least, we can take sort of this flat-edged tool and just very gently move along the meridians of the face. Alright, and then one last time we're going to check in with these points, see if there's any last things we need to do. So, check in here. Oh my gosh, that feels so much better. Less tender there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll check in with these leg points again. Oh yeah. And that's the power of presence with your Teishin acupressure protocol. Whether you're doing it on the neck, on the Hara, or on the face, we can affect change throughout the entire body. And so you are all set. We'll see you next time.